And then beginning, if you haven't already, beginning to deepen your breath. And let's first begin with either the Ujjayi breathing with the tongue behind the upper two teeth, a hollowness at the back of the throat. Well, the hollowness is at the back of the throat, and there's at the back of the mouth, and tone in the throat. And you're working on that smooth movement of your breath. And you might be happy just working with this 1-to-1 ratio of the inhale to the exhale. Or some of you might enjoy doing the box breathing, and where you're going to make two suspensions, one at the top of the inhale and one at the bottom of the exhale. But everything will be the same length. So you might inhale for a count of 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, whatever's comfortable, so that you suspend for that same length of time. You exhale for the same length. You suspend the exhale the same amount. So the ratio is like a 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, everything being equal. And it's still the Ujjayi breathing. So right now you're either practicing your 1-to-1 or you're practicing with those two suspensions. Making them, whatever you've chosen, can it be something that is achievable? So you don't feel yourself straining, even as you are working to make the breath smooth. So that might be either slowing down the inhale or slowing down the exhale. Please take one more full cycle of your breath. So that at the bottom of your next exhale, you can let go of any control on the breath, but still staying present, still noticing. And this is called waiting to go on. It must be. We are waiting for the perfect moment. It must be under all the struggle. We want to go on. It must be that deep down we are creatures getting ready for when we are needed. It must be that waiting for the listening ear or the appreciative word for the right woman or the right man or the right one or even the right moment just to ourselves. We are getting ready to be ready and nothing else. Like this moment just before the evening light arrives, working by the kitchen window, sensing a deep down symmetry in every blessed thing. The way that everything, unbeknownst to us, is preparing to meet us too. Just on the other side of the door, someone is about to knock. And our life is just about to change. And finally, after all these years rehearsing, behind the curtain, we might just be ready to go on. And you might notice somewhere in your body something feeling changed or different, even after listening. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. I'll open the practice. Please feel free to join me in opening your practice by chanting the sound of Om. And we'll sing Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu. We'll sing together, may we be protected. Together, may we be nourished. May our practice bring great energy. And may we illuminate the darkness. And may we not hate each other. May we be kind and filled with love. So taking a deep inhale. Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Punaktu Savidyam Haravavai Tejasvinavarim Tamastu Ma Vidyashavai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands and lift your gaze. Great. Let me just change my little view here on this screen. Help, go away, little thing. All right. Okay. So let's begin by, I want to do an upper back opener. But before we take that, let's take puppy pose. So you can move your blankets out of the way. And then go ahead and just come onto all fours. And then if you'll walk your hands forward. And you can even notice the hands. Are the fingers in line with the bones of the hand? Sometimes that pinky needs a little pulling in. And then from there, reach the hips back, but make the length between the hands and the knees long enough so that the hips are going to be high, because I want you to release the pubic bone back between the inner thighs. Strongly reach from the shoulder blades, the outer shoulder blade toward the upper arm, all the way through the arm to the index finger knuckle. Deep breathing. You can return to that Ujjayi breathing if you haven't already. And then we'll go ahead and walk the hands back. Great. All right. And let's sit for just a moment. You can sit, if it's okay with the knees, you could just sit on the backs of the heels. And take the arms, reach them forward. Inhale, draw the hands toward you, elbows are wide. Exhale, reach them out. Inhale, lift your arms. So you're lengthening all the way up through the side body, reaching, stretching from the pinkies to the thumbs. Inhaling deeply. Feel the collarbones. They're pointing towards the heart. The inner collarbone points toward the heart. And then let's exhale and release. All right. So if you'll take a couple blocks and put them end to end on your yoga mat, the short ends together. Let's cover that with a blanket, one of your blankets. And now some of you might need a second blanket that it gives like an off ramp for the back of the neck. So you might have a little off ramp that comes down. And I might put, if you have 3 blankets, you might put 1 more blanket on top. I don't know how many blankets you have, but that's then option 1 or 2. But we'll go ahead and we're gonna put, the shoulder blades are on the blocks and hands behind the head, elbows toward each other. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, so you're exhaling slowly, not in a rush to get back anywhere. As you come back, you'll feel, okay, so the top of the shoulder blade is connected to the blankets. You might feel the blocks underneath. The hands are still behind the head, but I might shift them up towards the crown of my head. And I actually find one of the blankets that's over the top of my blocks is actually supporting below the back of my occiput. So letting the top of the breastbone lift up. And there might be a place in your upper back that's a very familiar place for you, because every time you do something like this, it says, yeah, I am still here. I can add a little tone in my belly just to make sure this change I'm getting in my upper back and that I'm not just hyperextending my low back. Some of you might feel comfortable letting go of the head and just reaching the arms overhead. Palms can even face up towards the sky. Otherwise, keep the hands behind the head. It's no big deal. Can you let the collarbones roll up? They're rolling up towards the face. Okay. If your hands are overhead, you can put them back behind the head. Everybody has their hands behind their head, elbows toward each other, and we'll lift the chin to the chest. You might straighten one leg and just sit yourself back up. All right. And then let's remove your blocks out of there. We'll take the blankets off the top. I'm going to sit on those blankets for a moment. I can move my blocks out of the way. Yep. And then we'll go ahead and straighten the right leg and bend the left knee. Right leg straight, left knee bent. You might need a block off to your left behind you. We're just going to take Marichyasana 3, just a simple twist. So either with your right hand at the outer left knee, it might be there that you're turning from, or you might be hugging the knee in the crook of the elbow, just to begin to open, to twist. I'm not turning from pulling my shoulder back. I'm turning from letting my rib cage roll underneath that shoulder girdle. And then we'll go ahead and exhale to center. Switch sides. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, hugging the knee with either the hand, the crook of the elbow, right hand behind you, and twisting. All right, one more deep breath in. And we'll exhale, come back to center. Right, and then we can come off of that stack of blankets, move them out of the way, and either go back to puppy or downward facing dog, either one. See if you can notice as you come into either puppy or downward dog, what are the collarbones doing? Can you allow the inner collarbone, it's kind of point more towards the heart, so the collarbones are in like a V shape. Even as the outer shoulder blade connects to the upper arm. And notice, where is your breath? Where's the breath when you're in puppy or downward dog? Another deep inhale. And then with the exhale, we can bring either both knees to the ground or step 1 foot forward. We're going to come to a low lunge. So we're going to have our blocks, left foot forward, right foot back. So in your low lunge, let's have the back heel lifted. Can you lift through the top of the breastbone again, so that you're not completely curling over the front thigh, but you're going to stay lengthened through the spine. Strongly reaching into the back leg. Pelvis has a very slight right turn. Great. Let's inhale, step forward. And exhale, take the left leg back. So here again, pelvis has a slight, very slight left turn. Are you still lengthening through your spine, crown of your skull, and maybe give a slight lift to the top of the breastbone. Good. And then can we step back again, either puppy or downward dog pose? Let's inhale, come forward to plank pose. So in your plank pose, you feel that tone at the inner thighs. You're lifting the abdominal organs up to meet the front of your spine, lifting your rib cage up to meet the front of your shoulder blades. Where's the base of the skull? And then exhale, lower both knees. Sit back on the heels if your heels are okay with that. Bring the arms forward again. Change the clasp by a finger. Inhale, draw the hands toward you. Exhale, reach them away. Inhale, lift both arms. So there's the top of the breastbone. Can that be lifted? Another deep inhale, and then we'll exhale, release the arms. let's grab one of your blankets to make some padding for your knees. And make it plenty of padding. Like, you know, is one blanket the right amount, or do you need two blankets? Whatever you feel like, yeah, that feels so much better on my knees. You know, make sure you've got enough. And you're gonna bring your blocks here for your hands, and let's step left foot forward. And we're coming into a low lunge with the back knee supported on the blankets, the left knee forward of the left ankle. I might take my blocks, make them taller, and pull them back towards my blanket. So a little tone, even as I soften and lengthen through the top of the right thigh. Between my pubic bone and my inner right hip, I know I want just a little tone right there, so that I'm not going to be leaning on those ligaments. I've got a little tone there. Can you take the breastbone up again? Keep going. All right, great. And then release. Let's take the second side. My mom has been taking adaptive yoga with me. And one of the things she said early on was, and she's really diligent about exercising every day. She does a lot of exercises. And she says, wow, I didn't realize how much strength is required for doing yoga. So yes, people always think yoga, that's all about flexibility, right? But no, it's a combination. So with the right knee's going forward of the right ankle. There you go. So when you feel like, oh, you're releasing that back upper inner thigh, it might even help you to press into the right heel a little and see if that connects you all the way up to the ability to lift through the front of the heart. And remembering where the blocks were at the beginning, how did those help you in finding the lift through the upper back? Okay, and then come out. One more puppy or downward dog pose. Can you hear your breath? If you're doing Ujjayi breathing, you can hear the breath. All right, and then let's bring the knees down. And let's have just, if you had two blankets, let's just put one blanket down. And that blanket, we're gonna use in a moment for Cobra. So when we do it, when we do that, it's just gonna support you across the low back so that you're not completely, when you go into Cobra, letting go of support for the low back. So, but in order to get there, let's go ahead and come back to plank pose. Your favorites, right? One of your favorites. One of your favorites for finding that abdominal tone, for finding the connection through the inner thighs. the deep belly, that's lifting those abdominal organs up. Inhaling, great. With your exhale, go ahead and slowly bring the knees down. And then bring your chest down. Now you're gonna wanna reposition your blanket. So it's gonna wanna be, yeah, right. My pubic bone is not on my blanket. It's between my lower ribs and it's kind of the lower ribs down, and we all have a different length torso. So, but I feel like when I lie down, it's gonna be mirroring a lot of my lumbar spine. It's gonna be supporting a lot of my lumbar place. So if you'll place your hands on the ground, pull them back to meet the blanket. Forehead can come down. And with your next inhale, can you begin to take the bottom tip of the shoulder blades into the rib cage, the top of the shoulder blades kind of away from the rib cage. And when you do that, you feel, oh, the arm bones are coming along. There's the top of the breastbone. I'm going to isometrically pull my hands towards my feet. Now I know I can also find the base of my skull. Pull the hands toward the feet. And exhale, release. You can make a little stack, right hand over the left, breathing. All right, let's go back, pull the hands again. We're gonna do 2 more cobra poses. So palms are on the ground. My wrists actually bump into my blanket. Your forehead down. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, start to roll the shoulder blade. So the bottom tip of the shoulder blade comes toward the rib cage. Lift the top of the shoulder blade away. There's the top of the breastbone. Hyoid, so the throat. Base of the skull. Pull the hands back. And exhale, lower. Rest. Okay, last one. Pulling the hands back. You feel the tops of the feet on the ground. You feel the tops of the thighs. Let's remember the inner thighs are helping. Let's tone the inner thighs. And once again, inhale. Cobra. Pull the hands back. But it's not about pulling the arm bones back. Shoulder blades, base of the skull, and slowly back down. Inhale, press to all fours. Exhale, child's pose. And you can pull the blanket back and have it meet your forehead, or your forehead meet it. And then we'll walk the hands back. Let's move the blanket out of the way. Walk your hands forward, either puppy, downward facing dog. And if you're in puppy, you're gonna come up to standing. If you're in downward facing dog, we'll walk our hands towards our feet. And then hands to your hips, come up to standing. And hands in front of your heart. Inhale, let's go ahead, lift both arms. Inhale, lift both arms up alongside your ears. Reaching up through the side body. Maybe lift the gaze. And exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Okay, one more time. Let's inhale, lift both arms. And we're gonna reach all the way up and exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale halfway up. I like having support of my hands on the floor or my hands on blocks. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale your hands back in front of your heart. And release both arms. Great. So coming to the top of your mat, let's step your right foot back. So you're gonna step you've got left foot forward, right foot back. We're headed towards warrior one. So make sure the feet are hip distance wide. That the two ilia, right? They're pointing forward. They're not at the exact same height though, right? Because one leg's back, one leg's forward. And for warrior one, make sure your feet are length, that you have good length. Most of the time, many times we are too short in this. All right. So when you're ready, let's inhale, take the arms out and up. So let's remember about the collarbones are rolling up. The lower tip of the shoulder blade finds the rib cage. And exhale, bend the left knee. You might remember the tone at the right inner thigh, the back leg. Gaze in a comfortable position. And then we'll inhale, come back up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale deeply, exhale, step the other foot back. So the back foot has a slight turnout. Again, pelvis is pointing straight ahead. Let's inhale, lift both arms. Lifting top of the breastbone. Lower tip of the shoulder blades finds the back of the rib cage. You might remember this. There's the top of the breastbone lifting. And keep tone at the back leg as you bend your front knee. So you're lifting up and out of the pelvis. The gaze could be straight ahead. It might be up at a 45, might be higher. All right, and then we'll take the arms wide and step forward. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, let's bow forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. So you can have blocks, hands can be on blocks or on the ground. Inhale halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Shift the hands to the hips. Let's inhale, come up. Exhale, your hands in front of your heart. Step your feet wide apart. Turn the right foot out, left foot in. Inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, warrior two. You can gaze off the front fingers. Again, can you feel the back heel, even as you lengthen through the front inner thigh? All right, let's turn the palms skyward. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, release the arms and turn the feet the other way. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, warrior two. Remembering the breathing. And then we'll turn the palms to the sky. Inhale, lift the arms, straighten the front leg, make the feet parallel. Exhale, release both hands to your hips. There's the top of the pelvis. Inhale, lift through the top of the breastbone. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can either come to blocks or to the ground. We'll bow all the way forward. We're going to walk the hands towards the space between the feet. We'll bow forward. And here you're letting the breastbone turn in. The back of the head release. Let's walk the hands back out till the wrists are underneath the shoulders. Again, blocks are fine so that we can keep both legs straight. And then let's bring your right hand into the space between the two hands. It could be on a block or it might be up on fingertips. Lengthen through the crown of the skull. And let's inhale, start to turn towards your left. Excellent. Really reach into this arm that's down. Reach into it so you're looking for this strength that's helping you turn. Exhale, slowly back. So you're still using the strength to bring you back. You're going to switch your hands. You're welcome to take the right hand on the hip if that helps you. But Strongly reach from the back of the left shoulder blade all the way into the left hand, and inhale, rotating, turning. Exhale, release toward the ground. Walk the hands out, downward dog arms. So balancing the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel. Great, and then let's walk the hands back. Let's shift them up to the hips. And come all the way up to standing. Great, and we'll step the feet back together. Mountain pose. And then we let go of that. Let's take your strap. All right, so you've got your strap, and you're gonna make a loop in your strap. And the size of this loop is going to be larger than the width of your upper arms. So make the loop bigger, because in a moment, you're gonna be standing with the right foot back, left foot forward. So you can watch if you want to. The strap is gonna go behind me. The loop is behind me. My hands are in the loop, the wrists are in the loop. So here I'm gonna start with, okay, here I go. I'm pressing out on the strap, and then exhale, I'm bowing forward. So, as I bow forward, I don't need to pull my shoulders back. I'm gonna keep my shoulder blades toward my waist, but I'm not gonna pull them hard together. So the shoulder blades are gonna be wide. I'm gonna let the heart turn down, the manubrium turn down, the head. So you're either gonna be gazing at the back foot or maybe the back knee. And even as I keep my shoulder blades toward my waist, I might find more movement of my arms. Okay? Shoulder blades toward the waist. All right, go ahead and join me. I'll come up and see if I can see any of you. See if I can offer any suggestions. So left foot forward, right foot back. Yep. Okay. So with the both legs are going to be straight. As you bow forward, let the manubrium and the heart turn down. Manubrium and heart turn down. Yeah. You might even, that looks good. That looks good, Ingrid. The wider the strap, the easier this is. Like Colleen, that's great. Yes. Yep. So shoulder blades are going toward my waist, but they're staying broad on my back. Shoulder blades toward my waist, broad across my back. Then what happens? Is there room for me to lift my arms? That looks better, Ellie. That more room. That good. You got so much more room there. Great. This is called Parshva Tanasana. And palms are facing each other. Palms face each other. Yeah, Colleen, face the right hand toward the left hand. Palms. There you go. Good. Great. Inhale, come up. It's very balancy, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's try the second side. So it'll be right foot back. Is this the right foot back? Other side, whatever the other side. Left foot back, right foot forward. The left foot is turned out just slightly. And Ingrid, the back foot turns in a little more. Turn your back foot in a little more towards your front foot. Yeah, keep going a little bit, Ingrid. So your pelvis is going to face totally forward. No, not so the heels are lined up, but so the feet are wide, but your left foot needs to point more towards the front. Yeah, so that you can turn your pelvis to point. Yeah, keep going, Ingrid. So you'll be able to turn, keep pointing towards your front leg. But yeah, exactly. Hands are back in the strap. That's it, Ingrid. So your right hip has to go back, doesn't it? The right outer hip has to face back. Okay, so we're starting to bow forward. Palms are facing each other. So Colleen, face your palms toward each other. Face your palms so they face each other right now. Yeah, keep going, Colleen. Keep going. Lift those pinkies up. There you go. That's right. Now your left wrist. Just can you take the left fingers toward the sky, Colleen, so your left wrist doesn't get too torqued? Go the other way. Keep going. Yeah, that's it. There you go. You got it. Great. Ellie, that's great. I wonder if the base of the skull could let go. Ingrid, base of the skull. Let go of the head. Yeah, even more, Ellie. What happens when you let that go more? I know you're working with your balance, but so much happens with the arms, right? When we're not holding the head so tensely. Good. Yeah, great. And then inhale, come on up. Nice work. It's difficult. It really is. Step forward, take your strap off. Great. Let both arms dangle. And I know, I can only see so much on so if you feel like my instructions are completely, like what, Lynn? It probably just means I'm not seeing right. But I will say I loved a recent article that was really about the bones and the role the bones play in our cognition, not just in our muscles, but a particular protein that's produced in the bones, how much it affects the mind. Whoa, this is good stuff. All right. So let's come down and take a supported bridge pose. And this, here's what I'm thinking. Well, let's do one flying salabhasana first, and then we'll do the supported bridge. So we're gonna bring our two blocks again that we had at the beginning. We had them end to end, so we've got them end to end again. And then I'm gonna pad that with one of my blankets. Yeah. Sometimes I like to pad it with two. I'll see how this feels. We're gonna come over the blocks. Yeah. I can feel that block is right at my bra line, right at the bra line is where that block is. And we all have a different length torso. So, but the pubic bone is on my blocks. I'm gonna pull my hands back. I've got my toes tucked under. And I'm gonna remember this place at the back of my throat and try to lift from the back of my throat, not from my chin. All right, so let's start by taking the arms wide. Can you remember what the strap felt like? Face the palms to the midline. And be flexible on the spacing between the hands. And then Can you lift from, so the bottom tip of the shoulder blade finds the rib cage. Start to pick up the legs, the throat, and then exhale, release. We'll rest. So knees can come down. You're welcome to rest the forehead on the hands. All right, let's take another one. I know, a lot of heat. Feels warm. Slide the hands back. So first you've got the palms on the ground, back, just like you did at the beginning of class when you were doing Cobra. Tuck the toes under. Don't forget the inner thigh piece. And then when you're ready, take the arms back. Let's pretend they have the strap back there, so that you start to take the bottom tip of the shoulder blade toward the rib cage, top of the shoulder blade away from the rib cage. You can lift the legs, tone the inner thigh, lift the throat, base of the throat. So take the throat back towards the back body. And release. Oh my gosh, that was, I could feel so much lift when I draw from that, the hyoid bone we talked about, from the throat, when I draw that straight back. Not lift it to the sky, but pull it straight back. We'll just take one more. 3 is the magic number. Ready for number 3? Diego, he says, go right ahead. I'll be over here waiting. All right, toes are tucked under. And then take the arms straight back, palms face the midline. Let's remember what it was like to press out on that strap, so you felt some tone that comes along that back inner armpit. And then bottom tip of the shoulder blade toward the rib cage. Lift the legs, tone the inner thighs, and then rolling up from manubrium, collarbones, throat, and release. This time when the knees come down and the hands, let's press back and take child's pose. All right, and then walk yourself up. Okay, can we take, I don't know what props you have, but if I take a blanket, that's gonna go under my shoulders. Pardon me while I'm pondering. I'm really looking for some good lift here. And so let me try this on first. I'm going to take another blanket on top of that one. And then I'm going to take my 2 blocks end to end. And I have more blankets. Let's see, we'll put at least 1 blanket up there. If you have a bolster, you could put a bolster on top of this stack. I'm going to put I have another blanket here. Let me see what this is gonna feel like, and you get a sense of what is she doing. And then I'm gonna take my strap, because it might come in handy. And again, I want that big loop we had when we were just in that Parsvatanasana, the big loop. And I'm gonna put that big loop, it's going down here beyond my block stack, okay? So let's see, how are you gonna get into this, Lynn? All right. Pelvis is gonna go up on this, and my shoulders are on this blanket. So I can reach under these two blankets where the blocks are. And so if I had a bolster, I'd be reaching under that bolster. And I find my strap. Let me get my loop. Yeah. Head is on the floor. I would wish I had a bolster in here. So if you have a bolster, please use it. Make sure your loop is big enough. I think mine needs to be slightly larger. Let's see if I can make it bigger. It needs to be pretty wide to be able to go around those two blocks. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can, yes, like fishing, right? Fishing for my blocks. There's my strap, there's my loop. I'm gonna use that. I think we could go a little higher. This is one, so some of you might be happy with this version. In this version, I'm going to, again, peel the upper back away from my blankets. So this is one version of a supported bridge. I'm going to show you another version because I think some of you would like, that one's going to be great for some of you, and some of the rest of us are going to want more height. So we're going to know where our blanket is, at least one of them, and our blocks, and our strap. We'll come down, and we're going to get height because we've got the shoulders up on this blanket. Then I'm going to take one of my blocks on the low setting, other block, come hither. I'm going to take this block on either low or medium, let me see, or there's medium. Oh, that feels so much better. So I have two blankets under my shoulders, a low and a medium block, because I've got this opening here. And that's feeling pretty nice. Strap beyond my blocks. Some of you might, find you want more height. There's my strap. And I'm going to peel my, again, upper back away from the blankets. Okay. Can you pick one of those versions? Two blocks, either on top of each other, or two blocks end to end with a blanket. So you're still getting a little more height than just one block. And as I'm here for a while, I feel I'm going to go even slightly higher with this one block. Let's see if I can get that in there. Nope, it's going to be a blanket. So it's going to be a low block, a medium block, and a blanket. Let's see if that works. Because I feel the urge for just a little bit more height under this pelvis. Yes. I wish I were there to help you. Or I wish you were here to help me. But you might have someone there who's helping you. All right. Anyway, you pick the right height. Remember, feet are parallel. Can you take the bottom tip of the shoulder blade Oh, into the rib cage? Are you pressing out on your strap? Or the collarbone's rolling up? And then some of you, I mean, I think this is really a very supported bridge, Satu Bandhasana. This feels really nice. And I could just stay here. But I know that some of you would probably also enjoy bringing the legs up for a supported shoulder stand. So just make sure the blocks are in the position to support you. I feel like mine have a little teeter. It looks great, and let me see if I see anything that I could offer. Lifting through the top of the breastbone. Yeah, pressing out on the strap. Legs are vertical. Good. And then you're welcome to bend the knees if the legs are up. And bring the feet to the floor. And then hands out of the strap, and you'll lift the pelvis, take it away from, a blanket, one block. There's the second block. And can you take the pelvis and put the pelvis on the blankets that are under your shoulders? So you're gonna walk towards your head and shift so that the pelvis will be able to be still a little higher, but supported by the blankets. So the pelvis will be on those blankets and resting. And then go ahead and roll over to one side and use your arms to push yourself up. And then can we take the two blocks and take them off to one side of you? Take them off to one side and go ahead and we're gonna do a supported twist. So you could put, two blankets on top of that, or 3, or a bolster, whatever you got. Then when you lie on the ground next to your stack, so whichever side, you've got your stack on one side, and just shift the hips a couple inches away from that stack. Straighten that leg that's closest to the stack, arms are wide, and then you're gonna twist over so that the lifted leg is going to have a landing pad. And you're laying on, so for example, I am on my left outer hip, and my right knee, shin, ankle are all up on this stack I built. Arms are wide. All right, we're gonna come back to center. You can either turn your body around or shift your props to your other side. And then shift the hips away from the props enough so that you straighten that prop side leg and you lay on that outer hip and bring the leg across. The gaze can either be up towards the sky or off away from the stack, whatever's comfortable for your neck. And then we'll come back to center. Bring everything back to midline. So from the pubic bone, navel, heart, throat, cranium are all at midline. And then go ahead and exhale and bring the knees up toward the chest. You can take the hands behind the knees. Good. Inhale, take them an arm's length away. And exhale, hug them back in. And then you're going to release that for Shavasana. You're welcome to use your little stack if you want to go either underneath your knees. For some of you, it might feel the right height for a reclined Baddha Konasana. Otherwise, it's a nice height simply for supporting the thighs and the knees. It must be we are waiting for the perfect moment. It must be under all the struggle we want to go on. It must be that deep down we are creatures getting ready for when we are needed. It must be that waiting for the listening ear or the appreciative word for the right woman or the right man or the right one or even the right moment just to ourselves. We are getting ready to be ready and nothing else. Like this moment just before the evening light arrives, working by the kitchen window, sensing a deep down symmetry in every blessed thing. The way that everything, unbeknownst to us, is preparing to meet us too. Just on the other side of the door, someone is about to knock and our life is about to change. And finally, after all these years rehearsing behind the curtain, we might just be ready to go on. Allowing that deepening of your breath. And gently awakening your body to movement. Using the support of your hands to come back up to sitting. Bringing your hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Let me just stop this recording. Okay.